What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego back with some more boxing. Now, yesterday I did a video about Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Basically, Floyd Mayweather shitting on Manny Pacquiao as is mandatory. I expressed my views and thoughts in that video. In that video, I said I would make this video, which is basically, this is all my opinion of why I feel we are no closer to seeing a Manny Pacquiao Mayweather fight, or really any Golden Boy top rank HBO/Showtime joint efforts. And the reason is simple: egos, no pun intended. I think there's too much egos, there's too much pride. No one wants to be the better man. And if you know anything about your history, wars have been started based on ego. So it's like egos, money, women, power. Those are really the things that start wars. And egos are definitely one of them. There have been epic battles that have been fought based on a king's ego or pride, or not wanting to look like the smaller nation or country or whatever the situation is. And I think that's what we're experiencing here. Top ranked Golden Boy. Too much pride involved. For Mayweather, I think he's in a position where a couple years ago he was being pitted against a guy like Manny Pacquiao. The media wanted to see it. The fans wanted to see it. He was down. Pacquiao was down. But through a whole bunch of shit, that fight never took place. Now, the demands have changed. It appears that Mayweather has the upper hand, the advantage. So it looks like Mayweather, being prideful, is willing to starve Bob Arum and Pacquiao out from the fight, which is really hurting the fans as well if this is the case, based on just egos and pride. Like I said, Pacquiao wanted 50-50. He said he was an equivalent draw. Manny Pacquiao, or I guess you could say Mayweather, has always stated that Pacquiao doesn't do the type of numbers he does. Now it appears, after two losses, one being a knockout, brutal knockout at the hands of Marquez, and then one win against a guy who was coming up in weight, who on paper Pacquiao should have beaten. Looks like Mayweather feels he has the advantage, where he can kind of dictate the shots and be like, I told you so. You're not the bigger draw like you said you were. I just did record-breaking numbers with Canelo in my last fight. I did a ultimate Showtime history-defining boxing deal with 6 fights, and I'm the bigger star. So it looks like Mayweather might be content holding that over their head, like, oh, I don't have to do business with you. Then as far as top rank, Bob Arum, he's been back and forth as far as what he said. He said Pacquiao was the same size draw. They do the same type numbers, if not better. Bob Arum also said that he had this miraculous outdoor stadium. And Mayweather, I don't know if you guys remember last year, Mayweather sent a tweet and he was like, let's give the fans what they want, Pacquiao. Let's fight in May before the Cotto fight. And Bob Arum said that's not enough time to promote a fight of this magnitude. He said, I'm trying to check with Jerry Jones and possibly have the fight in Texas. He said he's going to build a new venue, some stadium that I've never even heard of. I don't know if it's up because I haven't heard shit about it. It's supposed to be in Vegas. That was supposed to be built. And for one reason or another, that fight didn't happen. Then there was like the talk about the purse split. And everyone involved, really, a lot of people want to pin it on Mayweather solely. You can't. It's bigger than that. It's Golden Boy, it's Mayweather, it's Top Rank, it's HBO Showtime. It's a big clusterfuck of people preventing this fight from happening. And then it'd probably be easier if it was Pacquiao and Mayweather, and like Top Rank and Mayweather Promotions, maybe even Golden Boy. But it's like too many hands in the cookie jar. Everybody wants their cut. Everybody has ulterior motives. They have something to gain from this fight. It's an historic fight if it does happen, if it ever fucking happens. So everyone has their opinion. HBO has their opinion. Showtime has their opinion. The directors of both of those networks have their opinion. Top Rank, Golden Boy, Mayweather Promotions, Pacquiao himself. It's just, like I said, too many hands in the cookie jar. Everybody wants to infuse their own will. They want to infuse their pride. So I personally don't think we're any closer to seeing this fight happen. Another reason why I don't think we're any closer to seeing this fight happen is the mere fact that if two grown ass men or two established business entities really wanted to do some kind of merger or partnership just for a fight, Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather obviously is the cream of the crop. It's the epitome of big blockbuster fights. So, in my opinion, from a business standpoint, let's say you guys have bad blood or have had bad blood in the past. Why not try on a smaller scale putting together an event? There's plenty of fights that both stables have that would make excellent matches, and you could at least test the waters, see how it works, see how the promotion is, see how the split is, and then make the multi-million-dollar mega blockbuster extravaganza, which is Mayweather Pacquiao. They could make a fight like Brandon Rios versus Adrian Broner, Lucas Matisse versus Ruslan Provodnikov. These are all fights that I don't know about you guys, but I would pay top dollar to see. Ruslan versus Matisse. Matisse coming off of a valiant effort, but a loss. Ruslan was off of a loss, had a great performance against Michael Alvarado, so he has a win. They're in the same weight division. They both can crack. I would love to see that fight. Personally, I would love to see it. Adrian Broner versus Brandon Rios. Now, Manny Pacquiao being an elite established fighter, was able to make Brandon Rios look amateurish, slow, sluggish. Broner looked like he didn't really live up to all the hype and all the talk that he had before. So I'd be anxious because we know Brandon Rios has a fucking chin. Back in the day, I said on my channel that I think Broner beats Brandon Rios. But now I'm not too sure because Brandon Rios is big as fuck. He's a warrior. I didn't really see Pacquiao have him hurt. And we've seen Broner hurt in his last fight. So now I don't even fucking know who in that fight. Because another thing that Broner, he didn't really use his feet. He didn't really use good footwork. So to avoid the type of fight you had with Maidana, you would definitely want to do that with Brandon Rios also. You don't want to fight his fight and have an all-out scrap. So I'm even more intrigued by that match now. So there's plenty of fights that could be made with Golden Boy and Top Rank on a smaller scale. They would be able to test the waters, see how it works, see how the split works between them. Basically, prep and prime the world for Mayweather Pacquiao. But they're not even really doing that. Instead, what they are doing is still competing on the same fight nights, like Zab Judah and Paulie Malignaggi, Edeslani Laura, Austin Trout. That fight card took place on the same date on Showtime that the HBO Top Rank card, Guillermo Rigondeaux and Joseph Gbeko, Glenn Tapia versus Kirkland. So they all took place on the same date. So they're still fighting for dates in essence. There's 30 days in the calendar month. You have 3 weekends, 4 weekends, depending on the month. And they have to pick the same dates. You know what I mean? And they're battling and they're trying to load up. Each person's trying to load up their own individual card. They did it before with Josecito Lopez versus Canelo. That happened the same day as the pay-per-view HBO event, Sergio Martinez versus Chavez Jr. So I really don't see any efforts to really work together, to really test the waters to see if a deal can be reached. A lot of people talking in the media and interviews, and nobody's really saying the right things. You can say whatever you want in an interview, but all it takes is a phone call, pick them up, set up a meeting. I mean, there's a way to conduct business, and it doesn't really look like anybody's too interested in doing that. Bob Arum saying the fight can happen. Mayweather saying the fight won't happen. Golden Boy sending tweets to Bob Arum wishing him a happy holiday. I don't know, man. It just seems like propaganda. And at the end of the day, the fans that the ones that have to suffer from all this bullshit. So I've given you the ego thoughts, why I don't think we're any closer. I've also given a solution. My solution is to put together a card on a much smaller scale because, like I said, Mayweather Pacquiao is the biggest fight that could be made in boxing right now, especially with Canelo out of the picture. Mayweather already ran through him. Pacquiao, the only thing he really has is rematches or a fight with Ruslan Provodnikov, and they're friends, and Ruslan said he'd rather retire than to fight Pacquiao. So who knows if Bob Arum will be able to convince him, or money will convince him to fight each other. But Pacquiao's running out of opponents. Mayweather's running out of opponents. The fight needs to happen. And if you want to prove that you can work amicably with another powerhouse, there's ways to go about it. Have a smaller card, not Mayweather, not named Pacquiao, and put it together, see how it works, see if there's any roadblocks, and then you can work towards making the fight we all want to see. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.